how to create repeatable formats of content so we become recognizable and memorable to our audience and the algorithm. This is part 2 of making binge-worthy content. In this episode of Content Catalyst, I want to walk you through the different formats so you can choose a style that's right for you. Hey, before we jump into the episode though, I wanted to invite you along to a free training, which is AI for marketing. I want to show you how you can increase your productivity and save time making content with AI. And in this free training, I'm going to step you through how you can set up your own AI assistants for making video marketing for your business a lot easier. You can join me Wednesday, the 19th of February, and the details are in the show notes. All right, let's jump into the episode. So let's just recap last week's episode on 5 reasons why we want repeatable formats of content. Number 1, it helps with our brand consistency. Number 2, it helps to position your expertise on a topic or in an industry. Number 3, it helps to build loyalty with your audience. Number 4, it helps with building anticipation for each episode or video that comes out, and you can promote it easily. You can lead your audience to a specific platform at a specific time so they can get to look forward to your content as well. Number 5, it streamlines your production flow. Now, when it comes to being able to set up templates that have your signature look, it's consistent with your brand, it's going to make pre-production and post-production a lot easier as well. And when you have a set format, it makes it easier to rinse and repeat that style of video, helping you batch up your content as well. All right, so let's break down the 2 types of formats that we can choose from. Number 1 is repeatable formats. So think of like videos that are a rinse and repeat theme or a topic. Now, if there's a creator that that's come up in my feed, and she does tea time each week where she spills the tea of what's happening in her industry, and she uses the visual theme around her of pouring a pot of tea while she talks about the topic. Trini Woodall, she does Friday twinning, where her and her assistant, 2 very different body shapes, wear a themed outfit or color or style of clothing, and it's like who wore it a different way. And she's got a makeup and skincare company, and she uses those the theme of clothing to tie in what makeup that they would wear with it. A winery, you could do Wine Wednesday, where you taste one of your wines each week. Now, there's a sommelier in the US, and she does Bodega Wine Mondays. Now, Sarah samples a wine from the local supermarket, which is called a bodega, and her descriptions are hilarious. It's at Lubasom, and you can go and follow her and check her out. She's so funny with her descriptions. And what I love about it is that she aims to educate people about different varieties or about different styles of wine or what to get at the supermarkets, and hopefully inspire you to understand what a good and bad wine is with a twist of entertainment. Now, one of the things that I love about her rinse and repeat format, it's actually not an elaborate setup by any means. It's literally her sitting at her dining room table. And what makes her recognizable is she has this wonderful curly hair, and she has this blindfold. So the wines that she tries are tasted like blind, what we call blind in the wine industry. So that's why she has the blindfold. So these are those recognizable things that she has consistent in her content. And she starts with Bodega Wine Mondays, and then she talks about taste the wine, she spits it in the cup and then describes it. If she likes it, she'll actually swallow the wine, but that's very rare, I find. But go check out Lubasom. Her content is a great example where you don't need elaborate setups to actually make repeatable formats of content. Okay, so the second format we want to look at is a multi-part series. So this is a collection of related videos or episodes that have a common theme or a storyline. These could be multiple episodes that get released over a period of time. So if it is like long form content that you were sharing on, say, YouTube, you could do like a weekly drop, or it might be short form on your social media, on your Instagram or TikTok, that gets released daily over the week. So why this works is because you have a consistent character, you have a consistent theme, you've got normally a consistent setting across each of those episodes. And also there's a story that can develop with each episode as well. So I was watching on the weekend on YouTube Gino's Italian Adventures, and this is where he had, I think it was like an 8-part series, and he started in the north of Italy and he went to the south cooking these recipes and understanding what the food of the particular town or region was. And that's a great example of doing a multi-part series. Now, you're going, great, but I'm not a chef and traveling through Italy. How can we make that more relatable? Say if you're a small business or an online coach, you could just start with a simple multi-part series that looks like a beginner's guide too. So if you're a coach, you could do something like how to start an email list, and then part 2 would be writing your first email, and then you could give them templates and examples. Part 3 would be growing your list, so you might give them some promotional tips on how to do that. So this is great for long form and short form content. So if you wanted to do, like I said, a YouTube video and drop an episode a week, or you could do, a daily series of it. So to get started, what we want to look at these 5 steps. So first of all, consider, are you going to do a repeatable format of content, or are you going to do a multi-part series of videos? Now, me at the moment, Inside Content Catalyst, my membership, our theme for the month is to create a video series. And so I have chosen to do a multi-part series. Now, one of the things I am doing at the moment is I'm down a bit of a rabbit hole with AI, and a little bit obsessed of how we can leverage it in our businesses, especially to make our content creation and marketing activities a lot easier. So my thing is, I know a lot of people use ChatGPT, but there's so many AI models that are available and especially getting released at the moment. So I wanted to make it relatable and memorable for people to understand the different models and why you would use them. So my theme, it's a multi-part series. I think there's 8 episodes. And what I'm doing is relating each AI model to a dog breed, because again, I can have some fun with it. It's entertaining. It helps people remember it. I've gone in and got some great image visuals out of a Leonardo AI. So it's an image generator that you can create different visuals with to make up these characters of these AI characters as a dog. So that is my theme as well. So that's number 2, is have a consistent theme. So I've chosen number 1, a multi-part series. Number 2, step 2 is get a consistent theme of your content. So define that theme. For me, it's if AI models were a dog breed. Okay, so pick a topic and then align that with your brand and your audience's needs. So if I go back to the series that I'm creating, my brand is about helping people make video and use AI to help market their business. And the audience's need is to break down and uncomplicate AI to help them do that. So the concept, think about the concept, and when you develop it, your target audience, think about that, think about your theme, determine your goals. What is the goal for you to do? So for me, my goal is I want to help educate people and make it relatable and position myself as the go-to AI video marketing expert. So think about how many episodes you are going to create. Like I said, I'm doing 8 in this series. And you can do, when you're doing multi-part series, you can do different seasons of or different themes. So for example, if I think back to Gino doing his Italian adventure, he could repeat that same format and go over to Croatia and do the same thing, or to France. And that way you have that same format, but in a different location. Okay, so number 3 is structure your video series and then plan out your episodes. So for me, I've gone into AI. I've had big, long conversations of which AI breed, which AI model reflects a dog breed. So I've got all that research. I've then gone over to Leonardo AI to create visuals of the AI models if they were a dog breed. And then what I've done is create a format of the type of videos that I'm creating, and I've chosen a green screen format. So the green screen is literally, I've got the visual in the background, and then I'm in the front talking and explaining why each AI model, can help your business. So think about the structure of the format of the episode and how you are going to do it. Are you going to do a green screen? Are you going to do a tutorial? Are you going to do an interview? Simon Squibb does a great repeatable format of content. So he's out in the street and he has a microphone and he walks up to people and he says, "What's your dream?" And Simon Squibb is a retired multimillionaire that is helping people, people live their dream and set up their own business. So he does street interviews, and that's his format when he's doing his content. So think about, what is your format and how are you going to outline? So what that essentially does, when you do know the style of content and how you're going to structure it, it helps you to then know and plan out your scripts for the videos. So for example, when I've gone into AI, I'm like, here's my intro, here's my main part I want to cover and the format how I want it. So give me 3 relatable bullet points and then give me the wrap up of the outro of where they go next. So just think about, when you have that rinse and repeatable format, it makes it easier to then go up and set up an AI assistant to help you create those video scripts, and then it knows exactly the style that you're after. So think about the length as well, because when I was doing those video scripts, it was giving me minute-long scripts, and it was really elaborate. And I'm like, that's great, but it's not for short form videos under 30 seconds. So think about the length of your video. If you are doing short form videos, then you want to think about, if they're attraction videos, you want to build followers, then keep them under 30 seconds. And then plan your scheduling of when you're going to record. And I had this conversation with one of my members yesterday. She's like, I have been putting things off, and now I've put it in my calendar of when I'm going to record. And I'm like, high five, because that's exactly how we need to be thinking if you're going to consistently make content. And there's one thing I know in business, and nothing's changed, mind you, over the last 30 years I've been doing marketing. To sell your product, you need to tell people about it. And the best way to tell people about it right now in 2025 is to make content. It's free. It's still free. Okay. You don't have to pay thousands of dollars like you did, years ago on traditional media. You can just press record and share content for free. So this is why I say, if you just put a little bit of time aside, use AI tools to help make that process faster. And AI just isn't about writing scripts. Okay. AI is there to help you in production. So when it comes to actually producing, like I said, I'm using CapCut. There's a teleprompter in CapCut that allows me to use a green screen feature. So I write out my script, I put it into CapCut, I record on my phone, and I can literally have the script come up. I'm reading off the script with the image in the background as a green screen. And then I can go in. I like to edit on my desktop because it's easier. So I just send it to the cloud, open it in my desktop, add my saved templates, and then I can just rinse and repeat that format. AI will help edit your videos too. So this is why I say AI just isn't about writing scripts in ChatGPT. It's so much more of how it can help you with. So think about that format for you. And then this brings me to number 4, is that theme consistency. So when you have a format like green screen and the type of content that you're going to do, you can then nail your visual and your messaging style. So your visual branding is what you look like. So for me, I've got my pink coat on, because my blazer on, because that's my style, with a t-shirt, and I do a shoulders up talking head video. These are visual clues that help people recognize us. And then our messaging style, my style is a little bit witty. It's a little bit, I like to have a little bit of fun. Like, life is so serious. So that is my messaging style. And when you are writing out scripts, you want to make sure that you're capturing those elements. And then when you bring it to life visually, you want to know that you are actually, making it consistent across your videos as well. So that's why it's good to batch content when you are doing this. So when it comes to pre-production, think about writing your scripts at once, batching up content. Make sure that you've got a consistent hook style as well. So for me, if AI models were a dog breed, that is my hook, that's consistent. And then get all your visual aids. Like I went in and I found my dog's pointer stick, which was great for training. And I was using this in my videos prop. And if you're listening to this episode, I've got like a dog pointer trainer in my hand. And that I used as the prop when you are recording talking head videos, can I just say it's really handy to hold something. And this is why you'll see a lot of creators that will have those wireless microphones, but they've got it clipped to something, or they're holding it in their hand as opposed to pinning it on them. It's not because like pinning it on you doesn't work. It's literally so you have something to ground yourself, and it also helps with your audience's retention. So think about your brand vibe. What makes you recognizable and memorable? Ask your friends, ask your family to describe you. Sum you up if you were to, your personality, and then bring those visual elements and emphasize them, like lean into those elements in your content. The next thing is set up your brand kit. So as I mentioned to you before, I go over and I'll edit in CapCut, and I've got all of those elements, like the font, the captions, the text, lower thirds, all of those elements, stickers, graphics, already saved in my brand kit. And then it's just a rinse and repeat, adding in the new video. Think about your lighting. Your lighting also has a lot to do with that. Now, if you are recording on the run and you're always outdoor, that's fine. But again, if you think about having that consistent look, if you are, and one of our members, again, she was like, I record a lot on the go, so I'm not sitting at a desk. And I'm like, that's great. So think about what elements visually can you bring into that. So it doesn't matter where you're recording, you have an intro that's familiar and a visual prompt of you. It could be you even just wearing a consistent hat that helps trigger, oh yeah, that's that person. Okay, so number 5, production. As I said, think about your hook style. That is the first 3 seconds of your video if it's short form content. Then have a look at your actionable tips or insights in the main part. So that is, if I think of Lubasom, she's like, welcome to Bodega Wine Monday. This is this variety of wine. And she'll give an opinion of it, and then she'll taste it, and then she'll describe it with her blindfold on, and then she'll give a summary. That's her structure of her videos. And then her call to action, whatever that is. And it could just simply be, go and check out this variety. It tastes really good, or So these are the 5 steps in order to create a repeatable format of content or a video series. Think about those time-saving tools, AI, CapCut, Canva. Canva's great because you can set up a lot of your theme elements and graphics in there. That helps you look consistent on camera as well. Think about your backdrop or your space. Always remember, good audio matters more than anything else. And just keep it. The thing about when you create repeatable formats of content, and I think about Simon Squibb, right? It's that he goes out in streets and interviews people. Now, when he started, he was just, selfieing himself or setting up a tripod. And that's how we all start. So always think about, just get it done, because if you create one series about this topic, by the time you make your next series, you're going to be so much better. But we have to get going in order to get good. So if you just start with going, I'm going to do a 3-part series on this, or I'm going to start thinking about how I can make a rinse and repeat style of format once a week, whether it's, like I said, spill the tea on your topic. These things are going to make your life so much easier, and it's also going to help your audience and the algorithm. Remember, the head of Instagram recently said the 5 things that you need for good reels, and one of them was a consistent theme. It helps the algorithm understand what you do and who to push your content out to. So these are the tips. Now, because this is a part series of a podcast, I'll be back next week to help you with the next stage of your repeatable formats of content. Until the next episode, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you know somebody who needs to make a video series or a repeatable format of content, share this episode with them. I'd really appreciate that. All right, until the next episode, I'm Deb Szabo. Thanks for listening.